That's a reference. You should have learned that in bacon school.
Una referencia.
Una.
Sí.
Just una.
Me gusta. Me gusta una. Yo! Why did it? Wow, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, kind sir.
Thank you, kind stranger, for the
You know what I
gold.
hate? I hate that these. Guess what these are called, by the way?
What?
These are called bear traps in the game's engine. Or in like their thing. These totems are called bear traps. And
Those are not bear traps.
And the actual bear traps are not called bear traps.
What are they called?
Let me check. Oh wait, no. Apparently they're called totem traps. Which trap am I thinking of? Because I know that the Okay, I think they changed it because now the actual bear traps are called bear traps, and now it's just called totem trap. I thought before. I think before. I don't know.
Turkey, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta mucho.
Yo! Freedom by turkey.
Freedom by turkey. Turkey is freedom.
You know what else?
Turkey is love.
You know
Turkey
what else is
is life.
freedom?
What?
Bacon school.
Yo! No, it's not.
I will die on the hill. I will die on the hill of bacon school.
Use basic mathematics to calculate that bacon school is bad.
Yeah, last episode, Nash used the theory that if school is -100 and bacon is 10, then bacon school is -1000.
Yes, that is precisely what I have stated, and I stand by it no matter what criticism I may receive from my fellow scholars.
Okay, what about bacon and game school?
Oh.
But no games.
What's infinite? what part of the school is infinite? Wait, but that means it's infinite school. Infinite school is not good.
But also infinite bacon.
But infinite doggy?
Infinite games?
Wait, infinite lunky? Oh my, what a good deal. I must accept.
Nash, are you glad that you bought Spelunky?
Yes.
Like, unironically.
Yes.
Nice.
I already bought Spelunky. Are you talking about
Twice.
Spelunky 2? Are you talking about Spelunky 2?
Yeah.
La Lunky.
La Lonky. I'm
Me
dead.
gusta.
Me gusta. How do you say
Me
bacon
gusta.
in Spanish? Hold on. Let me pull this out. Let me
I
pull
know
this out.
jamon is pork, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what
Jamon with an H?
would it. Okay, that's no.
What is going on down there? Doggy, no! Oh, tragic. The doggy is daddy. Ha 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 ha.
It's just pronounced bacon.
Bacon!
B-E-I-C-O-N. Me gusta la escuela de bacon.
Me gusta. Mucho.
La
Hero.
escuela de juegos.
What's infinite?
De juegos.
I know
Y
infinite.
bacon.
Should I use infinitivo as infinite despite the fact that I know that means infinitive, not infinite?
What does infinite mean? I want to ask my teacher the question. I want to ask my Spanish teacher. Infinite bacon and no games, or infinite games and no games?
And if she tries to correct you, say, no, I meant what I said.
Hold on.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
What is
Hola, ¿cómo estás, clase?
infinito? Apparently.
Infinitivo is infinitive,
Yeah.
as
but
in the
it's-
verb.
Yeah, I know. I said infinito.
Yo say. Yo hace.
Infinito
tu mamá.
bacon.
Infinito bacon? Sí, me gusta mucho.
Infinito
Me gusta.
bacon.
But it's such a hard choice because me
Pero
gusta
no
bacon.
juegos. Pero no juegos.
Infinito bacon, pero no juegos? O infinito juegos, pero no juegos?
Pero no. Hold on, I'm just gonna DM that to see it real quick. Hold on. Hold on. You can go on.
I'd rather have infinite bacon. Oh, sorry, I can't go on. I cannot move on. Not while you are dead. What does parachute even do? Does it remove fall damage?
It just makes it so that when you're about to get hit from fall damage, you deploy the parachute.
Is it one-time use?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not
that's
too
kind of an
good.
L then. That's basically just having one additional health. How do I get this cat? Actually, I see how.
How do you say or again? Dude, my brain is extremely dead.
No!
Yeah, just carry me, I was gonna say.
Bacon.
Bacon!
Eat. Me gusta.
Las tetas.
Me gusta. Tu mamá le gusta mi pene. Ella.
I just sent you 2 different questions. Infinito bacon, pero no juegos. And then infinito juegos, pero no juegos.
No juegos. No.
No juegos. Pero infinito bacon.
My reasoning was the result I came to was infinite games, but no games because I could sell the infinite games to get infinite bacon. That's how I answered my friend. Do you think I'm a genius?
That's. But you could keep the infinite games. Also,
Yeah, I could. That would be so selfish. Yo.
I think it's funny to just answer that as if there was no games to the second one, and you're just like, well, no, but you get infinite games, and then like, but there's no games, and you're like, yeah, but I get infinite games, so I mean,
it balances out. Infinite. Oh, I forgot.
Because if you're fine with the bit being dead, not to you, the bit is still on. But if someone out there is fine with the bit being dead, well then yeah, infinite bacon.
Yeah.
Bit still alive? I mean infinite games. I mean it's infinite games. You can't run out of games.
Okay, I have a question for you. Infinitivo pavo.
You're still using infinitive. You're still using
Infinito pavo or infinito huevos? Eggs. Infinite turkey or infinite eggs? Choose one. That's an actual question. That on the other hand is like an actual question, and eggs is the easy answer.
I feel like turkey gets boring. You know?
Yeah, you can't do infinite things with turkey.
Yeah, you can do infinite things with eggs though, which I think infinito juegos.
What? The goat? Oh my god, you're the goat! Holy moly!
I did not think I was gonna be able to do that.
Miles Morales.
Infinito juegos.
Infinito tu mamas.
Mm.
Infinite mothers.
Es difícil.
But no game. But no game.
Es difícil.
Tu madre, pero no juegos? Oh, I have a good one. Chungus, pero no juegos?
Yeah.
Mucho chungus, pero no juegos? Sí o no?
Infinito binkringo. Pero
Infinito
no.
Bingringo. That's bars.
Pero no chungus.
No! Me gusta.
or
Hola.
infinito chungus. Pero no chungus.
Watch this.
Pero.
Oh. How did I live?
Let me-
Bozo.
Okay.
Yo, the best ending.
Infinito juegos. Yay!
Vidas o me gusta tu mamá.
I think it's funny
mucho.
to imagine like my parents walking by and they just hear me repeat infinite bacon in Spanish. Infinito bacon.
I think he wants bacon. Something tells me we should have bacon for our next meal, guys.
I want to do the funny jump. Can you leave the rock? Okay.
La roca. You bozo. You bozo. Oh.
Hey Nash.
Oh my god.
Can you leave? I'm gonna use teleporter.
To kill it?
No, just to escape.
Oh. He blew up his own shop in anger. Oh my god, he's coming after me. This guy's scripted. Mucho chungas? Pero no
Mucho.
chungas?
Bacon?
Pero mucho bacon. Or mucho bacon, pero no bacon. The choice is yours, my friend.
So
This guy's speedrun.
Alright, we're forgiven. That's the only reason that's the only reason I wanted to speed through that level. Is so we can get forgiven.
Tengo una dog.
We haven't gone to jungle. We didn't go jungle all last episode.
Esta es una doggy, pero es un gato. Doggy is the right. That's Spanish. Yeah, don't question that.
I wasn't going to, question mark?
Oh, I had the dog. Oh my god.
Sorry, you should have said it in English. I couldn't understand you. It was impossible to understand you.
People are like, oh my god, pero as doggy, and I'm like, pero? No, that's not dog. That's a completely different word. You're a fool.
Pero.
Yeah, pero is hot, my god. But
Well, your mother has one of those.
no, she doesn't. She lost it.
That's crazy. Of all places to say it.
The Vietnam War. Oh no.
My friend in my art class just announced to like the whole group that I sit at, like the table. He just said, I've been lied to by the media. And we were like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the US hasn't deployed any troops in Ukraine. And we're like, nobody said that they did.
Yeah, they said that.
They've been saying quite the opposite, actually.
No, they said that. They said that. Want me to?
No.
You're good.
Keep
That
going.
bozo running. That bozo getting his cardio.
Bro, trainer said to lose 5 pounds. He's doing it. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's yo.
Es yo.
Chungos.
Dude.
Chungus. Grande chungus. Muy grande chungus.
Muy grande. Chungus.
What am I doing?
Pero
I sat
muy
there.
Grande.
Sí, es verdad.
Es verdad.
Es verdad.
Like you're.
Dude.
Like you're. Okay, not. Surfer was not what I was gonna say next. Just want to be clear on that one.
Dude. I feel so chungos right now.
I feel so chungus right now.
Dude! This monkey! Oh!
He's totally chunging my day.
Dude, he's ruining my vibes, bro.
I just wanted to listen to some chungus.
Chungus. Big chungus.
That's chungus. Big chungus.
Música favorito es chungos.
Mis músicas.
Mi música favorita es Big chungus.
Big chungus.
Grande chungus. Grande chungus.
Chungus.
Would it be grande chungus or
Grande
gordo
chungus.
chungus?
No, Gordo is like demeaning. So
Yeah, but he's fat chungus.
no, he's big chungus.
When you're ready to leave, I have pot. I'm a surfer dude, so I'm also a chungus. Big chungus.
You could. I'm ready.
Alright. Would you rather have... Okay. Would you rather have infinite bacon, but no games? Or infinite games, but no games?
They're both so enticing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like your mother.
Like my mother?
Yeah, you got a problem?
You got a problem with my accent?
You're demeaning me. Dude, stop.
And-
Dude, dude, not cool.
I can be racist
Dude.
all I want.
Dude, not cool, bro.
Broski?
Dude, bro. Dude, bro, this party is sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to deal with this.
Yo, he's spitting. Spitting. That'd be so rude to spit on somebody after
Oh
saying
my
this.
gosh, that was so exciting, dude. Jeez. Sorry.
Yo!
Yo, Mondo Cabeza. Dude, I love calling people Mondo Cabeza.
I like calling people.
If I ever do a super voice, I love calling people Mondo Cabeza. That's like a reference that like no one gets.
Chungus, Chungus.
I am
Chungus.
actually genuinely surprised by how little people get.
How
Mondo
little
Cabeza.
people. I'm surprised about little people.
I'm
People
surprised
are
how
short.
little people exist. Personally, if you ask
How can
me,
you exist while being short?
how
like,
can you be short and not die?
what?
Like what? Hey, so what do you think about this whole gameplay style? Isn't it great, actually?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it is Chungus. How'd you know that's what I was gonna say?
Baba Booey.
Dude, I hate people who are stupid and say Baba Booey like they're funny.
Baba Booey.
Dude,
Bozo.
it's funny because it's a random noise, dude. Dude, I've been thinking about like how cringe I was freshman year, right? To the point where like there's this friend that I had for like 2 years through middle school, and during high school I realized like how after I started watching Alfred Deluxe, honestly like that changed me for the better.
I don't believe you. I don't believe the for the better.
No, cause like before he would just be like, loud doesn't equal funny, and he would just like say dumb stuff like random does not equal funny, and now I'd just be like, yeah, it is. Shut up.
Who cares? Who
Yeah.
asked?
No, honestly, having a terrible sense of humor, it does help with like people criticizing you, cause you can. You could just like use it, and they just get so annoyed and fed up that they just can't deal with you anymore. And but in like the way that like people trying to mess with you. Like there was this kid who like would pick on me all the time because I was like shy in 8th grade, and he'd like tried to talk to me and like make fun of me, and I just did the ultra thing with like that's what you sound like. And he just got super annoyed and really confused.
Oh, I got the pot. I got the pot. I got the pot. You party time. Party. Woo!
Party
We leaving?
rockers in the house.
We leaving?
Yeah. Party rockers.
Look at that
in
clean
the
exit.
house.
Party rockers in the. Kill this man.
Everybody just have a good.
Is it worth buying a cape even?
A cape?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be worth it.
Oh, it looked so clean with my drip.
Oh yeah, cause
What
you're
do-
yellow, huh?
What do funny buff lobster men even do?
They just basically are just in your way.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yo, it's the haters. The haters. They're just like the haters, man.
Y'all are just like the haters for real, for real.
Oh my god, I see what you mean about the ink.
Yeah. It's what the best way I can always describe it is it's what Mario Kart Inc. should do.
Oh my god, I just grabbed a ledge above spikes after just dropping down without activating my cape on accident.
Yeah, it's dude, Dude, honestly, ink sends you into a state of panic. You're just like, I have to stand still for the next 90 trillion seconds. Or at least it feels like 90
And
trillion
then
seconds.
the moment I was able to move, I got so happy I could move that I almost killed myself instantly upon regaining control.
And if you're not that happy all the time, you should kill yourself now.
No!
Dude, I was trying to describe that to my friend.
The cape is so useful.
Yeah, honestly.
Cape is so useful in general.
Yeah, I think it's really good. But
Penguin
I
footer
was
just
trying to
tried
describe like low tier god saying that like to my friend, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "No." And he just goes, "Your life purpose should be to worship me. You should kill yourself now." And they just don't get it.
So I just had a machete appear out of nowhere.
Dub. So
Machete?
what's the
Here, wait.
downside?
Tell me when you're about to leave, because I need to find the machete. I'm dropping down slowly right now. Machete from Spy Kids?
Oh my
He's
gosh.
not known from anything but Spy Kids, and if you say he is, you're wrong.
Who?
Good point.
I'm ready to leave.
I'm not. How do I safely grab this this idol?
Grab it and get right here.
Here, you should do it, cause no, you shouldn't. I'm stupid. I was like, you have a teleporter.
So just
So
grab
how
it
do I do
real
it?
quick and then get on either of the pillars.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
So that's why I was.
Vandal got mad. Bozo. Oh, I didn't.
Oh.
Oh. Brain moment.
Anyways, I love Neo Babylon.
I'm not even gonna bother with money. We're a Vandal this late in the game.
Shout out to Neo
is the
Babylon.
drone a
Gotta be
critter?
one of my
Is
favorite
the
genders.
drone a critter or is that harmful?
Critter.
I took it. It's mine now. No! Axolotl corpse!
Shout out.
No! Why did dead axolotl be pogging?
Shout out to Neo Babylon. Gotta be one of my favorite genders.
It's gonna not be one of mine. Look, why is the dead axolotl pogging?
I think it's in pain. I don't think that's.
It's dead. How can it be in pain? That's not how things work.
No, you're right. You're right. How can it be in pain? It's already dead.
I watched the movie with the Tom Holland.
The bad one?
What the fuck? I threw the axolotl.
Oh my gosh! Did you see that?
I died right before that.
No. Okay, so you know how I presume. Did you get shot at? Is that how you died?
I threw an axolotl into laser and then it hit me and rebounded me and got me crushed under a moving platform.
Okay, so so you know how like the purple lasers are like reflective or whatever?
Yeah.
So shopkeeper shot me. I dodged it. The bullet came all the way to this purple laser, bounced all the way back, and hit me.
Yikers! Yikers!
Am I right, guy?
Oh.
Am I right? It's literally an image of me because I have such a
What the
massive
fuck?
brain.
Can you ride that?
No.
Or do you want me to freeze it?
Freeze it, please. Jeez. Those guys are so terrifying. Yo! So
Kill it
good in
all.
that game. That will not work. The only way is to...
Skeleton key. Key, pero es un skeleton.
Key, pero no key. Oh yeah, also they have hyper-realistic screams. And that's funny.
It's funny because they scream in agony.
But it's like a human guy screaming, and that's what makes it funny. This... Wow! That was insane. I hate the aliens in Neo Babylon. They're the worst. It's by far the worst place for aliens to be. Is in the place where everything blows up, because they just add more.
Whoa!
He's just so impressed. Dude, Neo Babylon is actually the one place in Spelunky where standing still is not safe. Okay. So this is the boss.
Waifu. You got a problem with me saying waifu? You got a problem with that? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I never. Okay. No, you're right.
Oh, so you're admitting it's true.
I'm not. It's not true.
Yeah, it is.
You can't do this to me. God. Oh my gosh. So you have to find a way to kill her, and the only way to. Okay, never mind. That was great. I just realized I've accidentally been streaming this whole time. That's
You
great.
did this?
Especially because I haven't had chat pulled up.
I thought you meant to because of the fact that it happened at around 11. And I was just like, okay. You buggies?
Because I went to hit record again for the second time, and I guess I hit the wrong one. I hope no one's been talking. Hold on, real quick. Okay, so it looks like no one's been talking in chat.
Do you know the song? Guess the song. It's a hard.
Guys, what song is it?
Turkey, no! I have to whistle now because I'm dead. I'm deceased.
Shiver me timber. Shiver me timber. Ghosts aren't capable of speaking. They're only capable of whistling. Simple knowledge. Everyone knows. Yeah, imagine a ghost with a slide whistle, though. That'd go crazy. I think I could just download the, I think I could just... Okay, stop being Jacksepticeye. Top of the morning.
I said that in another, in the first video. I went and I was like, I said top of the morning. Oh, sorry, I heard a whip crack. Is I think what I said.
That's good. I don't think I got that. Don't do that. My name is Green Man. No. Imagine if his name was just like actually Green Man, though.
You should live yourself now. That's me when I get revived.
You should live your life to the fullest. Now.
Chunkers. You should love yourself now.
I think I'll just download the VOD though.
Talking Ben, you love yourself?
Yes.
No.
No.
Talking Ben, you should love yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, I don't know why. I just always, anytime anyone says like yes in like, like a response, I always just presume it in the funny steamed hams, where it's like yes.
Yes.
I always just presume it like that.
Steamed hams.
No, I said.
An aurora borealis contained entirely within
Oh
your
my
bedroom?
gosh, it's so funny. Yes.
Guys, you get it? It's cause that's absurd. That would never happen.
That's not in a kitchen.
Average hater saying you can't have the aurora borealis within your bedroom versus average steamed hams enjoyer.
It's literally impossible to have aurora borealis in your.
Okay, and
Okay.
I've never let anyone.
I'm just gonna leave because he got dangerously close.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Where? What?
Me talking to all the Aurora Borealis haters.
You think I can have an Aurora Borealis contained entirely within my kitchen?
I like you saying an Aurora Borealis as if there's more than one.
Sorry, I use an instead of a if it starts with a vowel. That's how English we're big
I died.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the cum though. Why
Oh, I get it, because it's...
why he got the cum jar though? It's not, I don't want you.
Did you... I thought you threw him all the way to the man-eater, honestly. I thought you... Yeah, because I heard that sound effect, I'm like, that doesn't sound like spikes.
I sort of... That was funny.
We both heard that, and I was going to tell you, no, go check on that. I was going to tell you to go back. Yes. No. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
What is this key?
Boring.
Boring. Bozo.
Top 10 pickles.
Top of the morning.
To you laddies.
Top of the morning to you laddies. Would you rather have infinite top of the morning coffee but no games, or infinite games with no games?
Isn't that like his actual like coffee brand or something?
Yeah.
Cringe.
No, don't say that to Jacksepticeye.
That is what they call it.
No, that's not. Only I call him that.
So true.
I have a parasocial relationship. Hey, you want to revive yourself?
No.
You should revive yourself now.
Now.
Bozo boomeranged. Bozo.
Sorry, I don't want to revive myself.
Sorry, if I revive you in a boomerang, I might hit you.
Yo, how'd I get revived?
You didn't. Rest in peace, you. You're still dead right now. You just don't know it. Top of the morning to you.
Thank you.
To me, Crazy Frog is just a regular frog.
To me, Jacksepticeye is just Jack Eye.
Cotton Jack.
Which is
Cotton.
implying that, that I'm like a septic tank or something. How many Jacksepticeye viewers don't know what a septic tank is?
All of them.
Because they're all children.
No, it's because Jackseptic tanks aren't
Nash,
real.
you will never guess what two things I just bought.
What two things?
Yo,
Oh! This reminds me.
last run never ended.
I can't think.
Yeah.
I think. What does that remind me of? I don't quite get. I don't remember, man.
Probably
That reminds me-
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, bro.
Mondo
Probably.
Cabezzo! There's no way it's the Mondo Cabezzo.
The Calabesa. Oh my god.
Calabesa. Do they still have the thing from the Spelunky 1?
Run. What thing?
Can you put... Hold on, wait, let me... I don't know if
Let
it
me
still
what?
works. Can you put a bomb under this grave?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Can you put a bomb under it?
Yeah,
Just
I have sticky bombs. So
crouch and then bomb.
yeah, because I have sticky bombas.
They took it out?
Isn't it supposed to drop a cape? Is that what I was thinking?
No.
What was it?
It's... Well, it depends. There are multiple. Some of them... One of them, at least in the old one, it was a gravestone marked Ash, and it would give you a shotgun.
Oh yeah. What's in here, by the way?
And where? In there, there might be a vampire, so it might give you a cape.
There's a vampire. I can't get up to him though, so. There's multiple vampires.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to bomb around them. How much do they take to kill?
I don't know.
Can this bozo stop jumping?
Can this bozo stop being a bozo? Whenever you're ready.
Wait. I'm gonna. Oh, that's gonna kill him instantly.
And.
Sigma grindset gonna kill him instantly. And. Wait, why do I care? Why am I supposed to care? What? Me when I see
Yeah, but
you.
I genuinely forgot that we were recording. Or not recording, but I didn't realize that we were streaming. Did you get the cape?
No. How many hits did they take?
I have no idea.
I'm dead. I'm a bozo. Bozo.
Did
Bozo.
you had stuff, right?
A bit of stuff, yeah. By the way, it's in the bottom left. The vampire's there. And
Ghost will be coming, so if you can.
He should be close to dead. I hit him probably like. Oh. Be gone, Ghost! We don't like your kind around here.
Okay, that's just racist.
Really?
Ghost?
I couldn't tell.
Ghost racism. Real issue in today's America.
Okay, Ghost literally tried to kill everyone who's not a ghost. Is that not racism?
Okay, Nash, watch this.
You should be able to telefrag him, guys. Guys, what if you could?
And it just sets it up like that.
You should be able to telefrag him.
You cannot
I should make
telefrag Olmec.
I should make a macro to instantly win the Olmec.
That was terrifying. That one was too close. Okay. Now I got some room.
Olmec, that fat bozo. He's so stupid. He's so
Stop
silly.
insulting Olmec. He's a kind man.
He's kind, huh?
He's a kind-hearted man. He just does not know his own strength.
Do you love God?
Do you
No.
love God? No.
No.
It's the
No.
zoom out. Oh my gosh!
No.
You saw. I should have gone right. Okay. I was hoping that would hit you.
This guy is a bozo who's plotting murder.
You literally cannot throw the arrow at me.
I can throw this at you.
Do it.
No.
Why?
It will hit the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you mean? You mean yes.
Yes. No.
Alright, tell me when you're ready for the pop.
I'm
Tell me when you're ready
I'm
for
ready.
Freddy.
I wasn't ready for Freddy Nash. I was lying.
Oh no! Yeah!
Imagine there was another jetpack.
And a teleporter.
As always, we make sure to cheat
Oh!
runs in advance.
Yay!
No, you don't get it. It's just because I need better content and
That's a funny excuse. If if you gotta give an excuse, give a funny one like that. I'm gonna bring a turkey over to
dude,
you.
if someone told that to me, I'd honestly be like, alright, just don't post it next time.
Just don't post it, or else.
Just like don't post it like on the official.
You shouldn't post it. Now.
Ow!
Oh, my turkey died.
Ow.
Oh.
Ow.
This turkey also died.
Oh yeah, huh? You could have said, don't go. You're making various sounds and it is terrifying.
Dung beetle.
Okay, I'm glad you reached that epiphany, Nash. Nash, watch out.
Donga Pital.
Don Gabital.
Donga Pital.
Actually, hold on. Can you grab the key? You're gonna kill yourself.
No.
And then can you get the eye?
Es muy triste.
Necesito un bacon.
Oh, there's a second thing in here. There's a door in here that goes to what? Why is there a door in here, man?
Is there actually a door?
Yeah.
Let me look.
Why is there a door in here, man? What does that mean, man?
Oh,
What does this mean?
they just spawn too close to each other. That's not meant to be there.
What is that?
It's a useless room, so sometimes you'll see like the
Oh, yeah.
door, the outlining of a door, and so you'll bomb there, and it's just useless.
Yo! Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. That's me when the funny crab man. Funny crab be on. Bum, bum. I'll tell you if there's any gems on the floor. On the Senate floor.
That is
Spider-Man. It's not always about the gems on the floor, Spider-Man.
It's about the Senate,
what?
Spider-Man. It's about the Senate.
No!
Yeah, Spider-Man loves the economy.
He does? That's
I don't
crazy. I think the whole point of Spider-Man is actually, in fact, that he's just a regular-ass guy who's not rich in any way.
And he loves the economy.
That's kind of the point about Spider-Man's character. That's why everyone loves him. Oh, I died. Ooh, I lost it. Yo, Spider-Man was bullying my dead corpse.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Have I shown you why climbing gloves can be really good?
You showed me why I, remember when I killed myself with them?
Yeah. Remember when I killed myself with them? Good times.
Remember when you should kill yourself with them?
Now.
Wait, come over here. There's something interesting over here.
Nash, trust me, I already know what the bit is. You should kill yourself now.
Hello?
Hey Nash, is something funny up there?
No.
Ow.
Trying to. Oh.
I'm dead.
What happened? Squid Games.
Stepped on a spiky block.
Squid Games. I want to.
I dropped idle further down.
Super Idol.
What is that even an ad for?
I think it's the water that he's holding.
That makes sense.
That's-
He is
that's gonna
holding it
hurt.
in a rather promiscuous way.
Super Idol.
Super idol.
Something's wrong. I don't.
He's not
I don't
talking
know.
about Jared.
Super Idol Jared. Yo! Super Idol of Squidward. What does that mean?
Hold on.
I
New speed clip showed up in my Instagram.
I should explain myself now. That's me when I say Super Idol Day Squidward. Super Idol Day Squidward. Oonga boonga goonga.
It's him playing Akinator. It's him playing Akinator.
Can you kill this man?
Mr. Monk?
Yeah. I love nodding in Spelunky.
Yeah.
He killed himself. Nah.
Dude, the speed clip I was watching is good. Okay, so you hear that? You hear that little beep? Go back down there. Hold on. No, just go down there and wait. Hold. You hear that?
Yeah.
That's like a
Then
hot
how
cold
close
thing to where the black market is. So it'll start blinking faster the closer you get.
Bozo! Bozo, get off me! Get off me, you clown!
So it's in that gray pillar. I can no longer hear it because I'm no longer spectating you.
So, should I bomba?
Yes.
How do I bomba that consistently?
You crouch and then you bomb. And that's how you place it one block in front of you. Yeah.
Super idol date! Super idol of your mom. Oh god, I
Super
realized I have the...
idol. Dream is my
I just
super
realized
idol.
I just realized I have climbing globes. I'm just doing a little shopping,
Okay,
says the
so
clown.
I bought what we came here for, and so now we can buy anything else.
Cape? I want a cape. Now look at me, I have the ultimate movement.
Yeah, cape. Vlad's cape is really good though.
Yeah, that's the red one, right? What's it do? Is it slower?
It's just double jump and glide.
Oh. Oh.
It's just a direct upgrade.
Holy moly. Oh my god.
If you need anything a little more expensive, I do have Ghost Paw.
Should I get spring shoes?
You can.
Spring shoes. Alright, I'm fully dripped out now.
Bye, dog.
Oh, yeah. I'm fully dripped out with basic movement options now. How
Dog
much
is all the way on the left, second
I need
from
a
the
bit
left,
more.
right?
I need like literally
Get it?
300. Oh, okay. Are you sure
Yeah.
that's gonna work? Where's the exit? Where's the exit? Cause the
Let me see, dog. Hey, so, hold on.
oh my god.
I'm smart. I'm smart. Five head strats.
What's the thing I picked up? Is that like an antidote?
No, but that's required for the next step in the quest.
Alright. What the fuck? Oh my god, thank god that guy instantly dies.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. There. No. Hold on.
Super idol of bozos is me.
Alright, killed the witch doctor.
I got comboed out of my
Can
mind.
you, Not the mosquitoes. That's not the problem, Nash. just.
Okay. That worked at least.
Now I can walk.
Now you got all the loot. Now you got all the amounts of loot. Hola.
Hola.
Careful of el bozo. Bozos? Jeff Bezos?
That's what they call me.
They do? Why do they call you that?
Yeah. They call me the Jeff Bezos of Twitch.
Okay.
Because I love Ninja, and that's why.
Tengo esta cosa. ¿Tú quieres?
Superaido. You need to stop being on the edge whenever you hold something.
¿Tú quieres?
Tú quieres.
Yo quiero tu mamá.
Yo quiero tu mamá.
Super idol de your mom.
You want to try this?
Oh, mega. Oh.
All the way to the right. Okay.
Ooh, that's not. You have copious amounts of drip right now. You have at least 5 different accessories right now.
And that's the reason I'm doing this. That's the only reason I can do this. Because of all my drip, huh? That actually no, that's going to kill me later on.
Super idol. Super idol.
I just needed to put that there. I'm sorry. Actually, kind of hoping he can place a bomb right here. Okay, that should be good. There we go. I'm actually gonna come over here. Don't worry. Any second he runs out.
Yeah, you're a king right now, by the way.
What do you mean?
You have the head jet. You're a king.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
Wait, what? You can get an Excalibur with this thing? What the hell?
Yeah. Are you just like on the wiki?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're just on the wiki.
You looked at the shape, it looked like a butt.
No!
It doesn't look like a butt.
You clearly don't know what it's supposed to be. It's actually supposed to be
No, I was talking about the shape of the hole Olmec made.
oh. Then yeah, it looks like a butt.
Butt! No! Olmec!
Rip Olmec! Oh no!
More like Rip Bozo! Bozo. Super idol on Bozo.
Where did Rip Bozo? Like, how did that one GIF get popular?
I don't know, some Bozo must have died.
Some Bozo did die, and then they said Rip Bozo, and they wanted to commemorate him.
So what is our destination? Are we trying to go to the city of Trolled?
Sunken City?
Yeah. Are we trying to go to Sunken City or the city of Trolled or what?
What is the city of Trolled?
It's like gold, but I replaced gold with Trolled.
Oh, okay, I didn't know you were talking about that.
Trolled.
So I don't have any stickies, so I think we want to go for City of Gold.
Los bombas.
Unless, oh, imagine now.
Bombas. Super idol.
Super idol. Something.
Super idol of your mom.
I almost killed you. Did you see that?
Who's me? I'm not real.
Okay.
This is... Hello, my darling. Are you
Nash.
feeling darling? Yeah.
Come down here.
Come.
Look, it's important.
Super idol. Well, to get over there.
Nash, it's over here, by the way. Okay.
I
I was just gonna say I must not do it. I must not do it. I must not do it. I must not do it.
Gamble. Gamble, you must.
No, I was just saying it's funny because there's teleporter.
Teleport. No, Axolotl, my beloved.
Actually, no. I'm just gonna get a teleporter. I don't care.
No, his addiction.
No, I'm good now.
God damn it. God damn it.
He's too lucky.
Super idol.
Nash, can you hold teleporter?
Down there? Oh, I keep... Yo! Guess what?
Huh? Yeah! Because I gotta get Excalibur.
Yo, I heard a sound effect.
That means I got Excalibur.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna have to die on this level, so I will leave Excalibur right here.
You want the teleporter?
No, I got to find death thing.
Excalibur. Well, it's not like you can hold both.
Yeah, but I gotta die either way, so I shouldn't be holding Excalibur. Because then it'll get lost in the lava.
I like the animation.
Yeah.
Super idol.
Where's the place I have to die at?
Does this level have an intricate pathing of like tunnels?
Yeah.
Cause I went. Ooh.
Where did you go?
Oh, I'm just in the tunnels. I can leave.
Yeah, but that's like important. Like where?
Just right here.
Where did you enter the?
Oh, it's fun. I entered right here.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you maybe get us a clover? Do you think that's possible?
No. I don't know where I'd find one.
Hold. Wait, hold on. Never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna have to speedrun this. Death speedrun. Death speedrun. Death speedrun. Death speedrun. Death speedrun. I love death.
You should love yourself.
Now. Thank you. Can I hold Excalibur?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to rush through this level. Just like real quickly.
How far does teleporter teleport?
6 to 11 blocks.
Is it random?
Yes.
So it's possible to die instantly without being able
Yes.
to control it?
Let me get this. Try and get dog if you can.
But my teleporter.
Yeah, but just get dog to exit and then you can grab teleporter.
Where is the doggy?
Actually, just get yourself to exit. I got dog. Exit's just on the other side of the entrance, by the way.
Oh,
There's nothing else. It's just other side. Stop.
Oh my
using
God.
Teleporter. Yeah, teleporter is extremely deadly.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just using it for
Alright,
fun.
Let's.
I was using it in controlled situations. Can you not teleport down?
You can. You have to be jumping. So you have to jump and then do it downwards. I heard an explosion.
Don't worry, it wasn't me.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's down here.
Miraculously still was not me. I found doggy.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we're getting doggy out of this one. I'm at exit. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just run under. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh god.
Don't worry, Excalibur is really good. It does 10 damage per hit.
10?
Yeah.
Oh hey. It's the
She's,
Neobab totem thingy. I'm not going for that.
Okay. So you need to. Yeah, I was gonna say you need to go down there, grab everything.
What is going on?
Little electric thing shot my items up and hit you with my body. You have climbing gloves, yeah.
Oh, I got climbing gloves. Okay.
No. Okay.
Why? Do
You
I have
need
max?
to pick up Cape first.
Oh. Alright. Now where?
Okay. Where's exit? That's the next place. I think it might be over here. Look down. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. This is gonna be hard. Yeah.
What the?
That's why. It's
Oh,
hit,
if I touch
yeah,
that, it gets.
yeah, it hits it away. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, now going.
What?
Go through exit. Oh, okay.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is.
Is it possible to drop my stuff, or do I just have to hope?
You can drop.
Is that all I can drop?
Yes. Okay. I'm sure you've seen this before. We gotta come in here.
Oh shoot!
Hold on.
Trying to get over there.
Jade Onk. Smiling Jade Onk. Okay.
Smiling Jade Onk.
So here's the
Yeah, I
secret.
know this
You have to open your journal and then check the description of the tablet that I picked up earlier, and it'll tell you exactly which one to grab. And it changes every run. I found it. Smiling Jade Onk. Oh, I got hit. Hold on. Smiling Jade Onk. Okay.
And that gives you the funny man.
It does. It gives you a little funny man. Okay. Okay, we just gotta carry it through this level without dying.
Okay.
Elevators are your best friend unless you're below them. That's it.
Basically. Or
That's a good rule of thumb. Okay, hold on. I found exit. Get in a safe place. Woo-hoo-hoo! Okay. Okay. Can I see? Thank you. Actually, hold on to that. I'll hold on to him. Okay. I'm gonna hope it's down here. I'm gonna hope exit is down here.
oh, this is a surprise. Oh no, I'm dead. Shit.
Doesn't really matter too much, because all that matters is that we get Lil Flyman.
Little funny man.
I'm too good.
Oh, now you fly up, right?
Yeah, this is the best part. This is one of my favorite things, because you just don't expect it to have to go up here. No! I'm done.
But
No, hold on.